Enzo, a point on the road, an important point. What did you make of it today?
Very important, as you said. I'm very happy today, even more happy than the game against Brentford. The reason why is because I was quite worried about this game. You know, it's a tricky game, tough stadium, tough team. They don't concede many chances. They don't concede many goals. And then you have to deal and you have to learn to play different games. You know, long ball, second ball, channel, set pieces. And I think the togetherness of the player, the team spirit has been top.
How pleased are you with how your side dealt with the aerial presence of Everton that side of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I think defensively they were top. Probably offensively we could do something better, like always. But was not easy. This is a team that they don't concede many chances, and they are good defensively. So you have to deal with that.
What really went wrong in Chelsea's 0-0 victory to Everton? So, first of all, a lot of things went wrong, but when you look at the result, it's also two-edged. When you look at Chelsea's expectation this season, which was to finish in the top four, a draw away at Everton is a good result, considering that Chelsea have just been losing away at Everton. But if some of you are over optimistic with Chelsea's title race, then it might look like 2 points drop. So, Chelsea, Everton, especially their away fixture, has been one-sided for a long time, with Everton constantly coming on top. And I probably think the only time that Chelsea have beaten them was back when Thomas Tuchel won the first game away at Everton. And that season, we finished 12th. But Chelsea wanted to rectify this. However, I can come into the defense of Maresca by saying that the weather at Merseyside was really terrible. So even you could see the ball could not move well. And Chelsea heavily relied upon it. Now, one player who's missing at that game really affected the team was Marco Correa. And we identified that he's probably the only fullback at the club who can play that inverted role. Malo Gusto, who was deployed down the left, further explained why he's not perfect in playing that role and how Malo Gusto's position really did not contribute to Chelsea and made Chelsea look toothless when it came to attacking Everton ruthlessly. Now, looking at the results where Gusto has played in that attacking inverted position, Chelsea have not won those games. A 2-1 loss at Liverpool, and remember, Liverpool did not focus on him because they knew that he was not an attacking threat, and Palmer was marked out. Newcastle, United, Arsenal, and Everton. So it is something that we have seen when Gusto is being deployed here. It is not his best position. Before I even continue, like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Now, Maresca's system was the box midfield, though I believe that in this game he would have used probably the kite, which I think would have been much better by having many attacking players on the team, even players like Joao Felix coming into the team. Now, Everton were at home, but they did not bother to press Chelsea aggressively high, but rather sit in a 4-4-2 with the covering the middle areas and doubling up in the wide areas. The way Chelsea organized themselves is that Chelsea would have their wingers starting high and wide, looking to generate width. Chelsea will also have their forward Nicholas Jackson looking to push forward and stay in that number 9, playing on the shoulder of both defenders. Palmer will invert into the right half space. And this is where Maresca, I think he got it wrong and even rectified it in the second half. That was deploying Gusto in this left half space. First of all, Gusto is not good attacking-wise, and he's not quite creative, unlike when you have a player like Fernandes. Now, he decided to have Fernandes and Caicedo playing deeper. And Fernandes was looking to play an orchestrate play from deep. But Everton were using their two forwards to mark out Fernandes and Caicedo while having two banks of 4 to limit central progression as well as double up in the wide areas. So the only outlet for Chelsea were their wide centre backs. And again, Colwill was the one who was heavily relied upon. with Harrison looking to pick up a position where he could press Colwill and cut the passing lane to Jadon Sancho. And because again, Gusto did not understand the half space role, he will not be the player to drop on the wide side to receive the ball so that Sancho can stay high up. We have seen Fernandes doing that. Now, this was quite problematic because this deep block became problematic for Chelsea because Chelsea did not have that fluidity they usually have higher up the pitch. Now, when you look at this scenario, you can see that Sancho was only made to have the ball in the wide areas, and Sancho is like he doesn't have a left foot, so majority of the time he will turn to look to play crosses, and because the wind was swirling, it became difficult for the crosses to even be accurate. And that's why Chelsea did not have enough joy with crosses in the box. And also Jackson is not offering Chelsea that aerial threat when it comes to crosses. I don't even remember the last time Jackson scored a header. Now, because Gusto in this position was quite ineffective, Everton did not have to be scared about that threat and only focused on Sancho. And because of the forwards sitting deep on Chelsea's pivot, we started to see both Fernandes and Caicedo dropping out of that midfield and looking to receive the ball from the centre back and play outside. Like you can see, this is Chelsea 3-5 structure. But look at this scenario. Palmer and Gusto have been covered by the two pivots. In fact, both pivots have gone to cover Cole Palmer. And this is because Fernandes and Caicedo are not in midfield. Here again, look at this position. Fernandes and Caicedo are out of the midfield. So they are not creating that box, enabling Everton's midfielder to cover both. And you can see they are even allowing the ball to be played to Gusto because Gusto has no player marking him because they know Gusto is not a threat. And so Fernandes was the one who would drop deep. The three centre backs will spread out wide and Fernandes will look to try and thread the balls on either side. But having the creativity of Fernandes in this deeper position is actually taking Chelsea's threat high up. And we started to see even sometimes Jackson dropping deep, pulling a centre back out of position. Once he pulls a centre back out of position, Palmer could make that run. And Palmer actually had an opportunity to score a goal in that instant because the ball was played ahead for him. And Palmer had that opportunity to make runs in behind, receive the ball and attempt a shot on goal, but he did not make the best out of it. But the thing I'm trying to emphasize is that Everton used their both midfielders on Palmer and allowed Gusto to be free. Because Gusto, whenever even he received the ball, he will just pass it backwards. And that is not good when you have your attacking player. But I cannot also blame Gusto because that is not his position. So Chelsea decided to start to go wide, especially to the wide areas. And in particular, down the right, Neto was looking like a threat and even got fouled and gave Chelsea some free kicks in very dangerous positions. And you can see how Neto will receive the ball and look to attack down from that right-hand side, cutting in. But again, the player who he could link up with, Cole Palmer, was being covered with two players at all times. So this nullified Cole Palmer out of the game. And that's why I was really emphasizing that even if Gusto was to invert, probably I would like him to invert from the right so that he can be making those overlapping runs and look to give Neto that opportunity to slip in balls towards him. Disasi, on the other hand, was identified to be a press trigger whenever he received the ball because he's the least comfortable centre-back on the ball amongst the three centre-backs. And so whenever he received the ball, the press was on to him and he just played the ball backward. Consider if you have Gusto in that position or Reece James, then you have a player who can create something from that position. Therefore, we really need Reece James back to play in that wide right centre-back role, especially with the injury of Wesley Fofana. Caicedo in this position will sometimes look to play in Jackson, who will drag Brathwaite out of position and look to play balls in behind for Cole Palmer. Though again, Cole Palmer was quite off it in this game and was not looking to generate that opportunity. Now, looking at the wide areas, Everton were looking to double down. Now, changes had to be made by Maresca at halftime. And Maresca had also instructed that the centre backs go long, especially looking to try and find Jackson, who was making runs, especially when centre back the space opened up in defense. And Jackson was making these runs while balls were being played over the top. But again, I'm telling you that the weather was not quite great, and the ball was so hard to control, and in some instances, I can blame Jackson because he also found himself in an opportunity where he could put Chelsea ahead, but didn't. He also found himself in an opportunity where he could score when he was given an easy tapping by Cole Palmer and he failed. And this is actually putting a lot of pressure to Chelsea, and it's giving Chelsea's management thing to think about Jackson, whether he is the long-term solution for Chelsea, because he's really missing, he's lacking the clinicality when Chelsea really need him the most. Now, Maresca had to make some drastic changes in the second half. He decided that it is good to have Enzo in that half space position to link up with Sancho and drop Gusto deeper. And we started to see Chelsea being much more fluid in the second half, because now having Enzo Fernandez there, we even saw him attempting shots from that position. It really opened up the left-hand flank for Chelsea. But again, he did not make the desired substitutions, because in my opinion, I think that he should have even probably taken off even Gusto and brought in João Felix and moved Caicedo into that fullback position. So Chelsea's incredible winning streak ends at Everton. Chelsea have 5 more winnable games. They are not easy games. And we have seen again the importance of having Marc Cucurella in this team, and how important he is to Chelsea attacking wise. And have Everton given other teams the blueprint on how to stop Chelsea? The question is, will Chelsea now bounce back with a solid win against Fulham, another difficult fixture? That is the question we need to ask. Or will teams now look at the Everton blueprint and identify how to stop Chelsea? I really emphasized why Marc Cucurella should not have gotten that silly red card at the end, because we really needed him on how we like to play. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section area below, and thanks for watching.